Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, YouTubers. This is Jerry Diamond with How to Get Out of Babylon, Flat Earth Homeland, and Jersey, Woman of the Woods. This is a chemically protective suit, Clean Guard, whatever the hell that says, A40. Okay, it's big. It's really big. You can put about a 6'19" person in here. So, I'm going to give you an idea, and I'm just going to do this quick and dirty. Pretend that it's an emergency and you need a warm place to sleep, and you've got a cheap sleeping bag or any kind of sleeping bag, and it's cold out. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause the camera, but I'm going to slit up the leg right on the seam, up to the crotch, back down this leg, tape it together. Voila. Well, all the way down to the, probably partially down the foot. Yeah, you want to try to make a bag out of the foot. So, however, that you figure that out on your own when you do it. But basically, you can make a bivy sack out of one of these. They're the same thing as Tyvek is. It's the same as similar to Gore-Tex. It's breathable. It's waterproof and breathable. Basically, it's going to increase your survivability in any kind of sleeping bag by probably 10-15 degrees, minimum of 5 degrees, but by quite a bit. Now you're going to have a little bit of more perspiration buildup because that's just the way these fabrics work. Gore-Tex does not really exhaust that well. Tyvek doesn't either, so you just deal with it, unzip it, whatever. All right, I'm going to pause it. Okay. So I've got that slit open, and I ran up. Now there's a seam on the inside, so I did it the opposite way. I left the seam, the seam here on the bottom, so that's going to be stronger, and I left it on this side on the top, so that's going to be stronger. So when you tape it, you're going to have a clean cut and reinforced with a seam, and vice versa. The clean cut's going to be on this side and the seam on that side. And then the booties are kind of strange. They just have one seam down the middle. Can't imagine that would be very comfortable. So I just cut down to the bottom of that seam, and then just up about 3 inches. I figured I can always cut it more. You can always cut it shorter, but you can't cut it longer. I can always cut that out more. So when I get to taping it, the seam will come all the way down to the very bottom of the foot, the center of the foot, when I tape the back part of it. And then the front will come down to the center of the foot also, and I'll just have to play it by ear on fixing the flaps together. But that's going to give you a bivy sack, and it's going to increase your, like I say, your survivability quite a bit. I'm going to see if I can find some tape around here, but I had some tape that was strapping tape. I didn't have to bring it with me, so I'm going to pause this and see if I can find anything to dummy it up here. Okay, the inside seam, this is it from the outside, from the back. The inside seam I have taped, and I'm going to tape the outside of the same seam, the back, and the booties are taped up to the top. And then to get the inside taped, we'd have to turn it inside out. So, in other words, to get the other side. Anyway, I'm not going to turn it over. All right, I'm going to pause it. All right, so the back is taped inside and out. I taped the inside, and I just taped the outside. Okay, now I'm going to tape the outside of the front, and then I'll have to turn it inside out, unzip it, and turn it inside out to do the inside. I'm going to pause it. Help me, help me. Help me, Rhonda. All right. An astute person would ask, hey, what do you do with the arms? You don't do anything with the arms. This is inside out. Leave the arms alone, don't do anything. They're on the inside. That way when you get up in the morning, you wake up, you can just put the arm back out. You tuck them on the inside, and then when you want to get up, you tuck them outside and start your fire. Get your stove going, pump your stove up, or flick your piezoelectric butane stove, which doesn't work very well in cold weather. Anyway, that's what you do. So I've got it inside out. I'm going to tape the final seam. And voila, 5 minutes later, you're snugged up for the night. I stuffed it with some cushions and whatnot. But yeah, that's pretty long. That's almost the full length of the pool table. Probably is the full length of the pool table. If I stretched it out, feet are there. One end, and it's 6 inches, 8 inches short of the other end, so plenty long for most people. There you go. That didn't work out. Needed a bigger one. So boots, I don't remember the boots being, I think I had a different design, because these are not fun, and that doesn't end up being very big. But the big flat boots, where they actually have a hard surface on the bottom, try to get those, because that way you've got a good hard surface at the bottom, flat. They're easy to join there. These are, like I said, these are joined in the middle, and that's a mess. I don't think, there's not enough room in there to even get your sleeping bag in there. But for most people, this is long enough. Stuff a sleeping bag in there, you're good. All right, this is Jerry Dime with How to Get Out of Babylon. If you're listening to this, you are the remnant. And that's about it. I just wanted to get that done. Been wanting to do it, so a little bit of cold weather stuff. On the subject of tape, Tyvek tape. I got a couple cases of that back when. That stuff was phenomenal. I made some of these. I spray painted them. I camouflaged them with paint. 3 different colors. This stuff was phenomenal. I wadded them up, ran them through the wringer, washed them, ran them through the dryer. Well, you don't need to dry them. They dry out real fast. But, pretty awesome. Good tape. When I was doing freight handling, the best tape I ever ran across was, and this was when it was like 10, 20, and 30 below, was some tape made in Taiwan. Don't know the brand name. I would have bought stock in that company if I could have. That stuff was phenomenal. Other than that, carpet tape, I hear. There's other people taping this stuff, Tyvek, and carpet tape is very durable, very good. So that might be the best stuff to get and to use for doing this kind of a project. Just be sure where you can see the design in the fabric, if you put something like the scissors and just mush down on that, or a pen top or something, that gets your best seal. Kind of obvious, but there you go. Yeah, got that project done. I've been wanting to do that. And on cold weather, 2 things. I did a video, look it up, on kidney wraps. If you keep your kidneys warm in extreme cold weather, you will fare much better. And very similar to that is just putting a handkerchief, even if it's just a cotton handkerchief, around your throat, and keep your carotid arteries from chilling down. That can make the difference between life or death. Because when your blood gets sluggish, number one, your heart's having a harder time pumping it. And when it cools down, the heart is going to protect itself, because without your heart, you're dead. And so your heart will, prioritize, and your brain's not as important. So once you start getting sluggish, your blood cools down, your throat's exposed, it's extremely cold, your kidneys are exposed, your blood's slowing down, your brain gets less blood, less oxygen, and you'll start getting kind of dopey, and then you might get euphoric, and then you die. So we're not talking hypothermia, we're just talking bad decisions made by brain not functioning optimally or fast enough. You might see something coming at you, and you might eventually realize that it's a skier out of control, or a wolf, or a rock coming down the hill, or a motorcycle, and you don't realize it fast enough, and boom, you're plowed, you're dead. So keep track of that. Keep your blood circulating and keep it as warm as possible. And where it's exposed is your kidneys and your throat, your carotid arteries. So a handkerchief around the throat will help, and kidney wrap, especially with wool. A long woolen scarf is what you want to look for. And of course, alpaca or llama or whatever. A really good wide scarf that's long enough to wrap around your body about twice. That's what you're looking for. Start crocheting, ladies. Crochet wool. Cotton kills. Cotton kills. Cotton kills. Do not wear cotton. Cotton kills. Gets wet, you're dead. Down gets wet, you're dead. Down is worthless. Wear wool. Wear wool. Wear wool. All right, this is Jerry Diamond. If you're listening to this, you are the remnant. I'm going to try to get one last, maybe a good shot for a thumbnail. Probably not. Just for grins and giggles, we'll make it look like that. Pull this up here. And then take it like that. Maybe they'll pick that one up, or maybe I can use that one. All right, whatever. Adios.